Howdy y'all, the Comics Kid 2099 here, and I usually devote Saturdays to talking about an episode of a superhero animated series. Today, I will be talking about the Batman the Animated Series episode Showdown, so buckle up because there's going to be some spoilers. Either go watch the episode to prepare yourself, or listen as I quickly sum up the episode before I get into the review itself. Ra's al Ghul kidnaps someone from a retirement home and leaves a taped message for Batman and Robin to listen to. In 1883, Ra's and a man named Arcady were trying to halt westward expansion in America and install Ra's as the new leader of America. Bounty hunter Jonah Hex comes onto the scene looking for Arcady, and in his search for his prey, more or less accidentally stops Ra's plans. In the present day, we find out Arcady is still alive and is actually Ra's son. Ra's and Batman come to a brief temporary understanding, as Ra's only wants to take his son home. Cue credits. What can be said about this episode other than, wow, what a fantastic episode? This story here is pretty straightforward, so there's not much to comment on other than what a cool, fun episode that you don't usually get to see here. I'm not really a fan of westerns most of the time, but it's nice to shake things up every once in a while in this series, so I'm all for changing up the genre to show us a different side of the DC animated universe that we don't usually get to see much of in any of the shows comprising this universe. I do think that it's neat that this episode is able to get away with more than what you would usually get to see in a cartoon from the 90s. We get pretty clear references to prostitutes, even though that word or the act of is not actually spoken or seen. We also see actual real bullet-firing guns, which wasn't unheard of in the 90s, but it wasn't common either. I remember the Spider-Man the Animated Series not being able to use real guns, so scenes with the NYPD had to have laser rifles instead of real weapons. And sure, that was a different network from this series, but it's still neat to see a cartoon, even just for an episode, being able to do things that most of the time were frowned upon. It shows that, hey, just because a gun is in this episode doesn't mean that that episode or the series is evil, and it certainly doesn't mean that the episode should be banned from being aired. It probably helps that these elements aren't overtly present. They're not just throwing prostitutes and weapons into this show to try and attract the almost teen audience that might feel like they are outgrowing this series. These elements are pretty organic, and the episode would feel really weird without them since this is a western, and those things were pretty common in the Old West. I said the plot of this episode is pretty straightforward, and I would like to say that that's almost to a fault. Ra's al Ghul wants to stop the production of the trains that will take society further west because this is destroying the country. Okay, this seems like something Ra's would do, even though the environmental crusader aspect of this character has been greatly downplayed in this series. But if Jonah only accidentally defeated Ra's and Arcady, then what is stopping Ra's from continuing this plot without Arcady's help? Why didn't Ra's build another airship and take over America? Ra's becomes a very different kind of character when he doesn't have a larger-than-life opponent like Batman to battle wits with. I get that Ra's is immortal, but it's pretty crazy that, I reiterate, he is defeated by accident by a dude who doesn't really seem to care about saving the world from the plots of a madman. He just wants his bounty, Ra's crazier son. With Jonah being this kind of apathetic character, it makes little sense that Ra's would abandon this plan that he had invested so much in. But I do quite like the idea that Ra's has a soft spot for his progeny, even the ones who are psychotic and are now more or less brain dead. I'm not sure if I buy the idea that 50 years of hard labor would kill someone's mind, as Ra's says at the end of this episode. If you're the halfway mark between mortal and immortal, and you're able to outlive 50 years of working hard, I'd imagine this would be like a shorter prison sentence for a mere mortal. If the episode really wanted Arcady to be almost brain dead in the present day, they could have just said that he is really old and feeling the effects of age. Not to be too insensitive, but older people sometimes don't have all of their mental faculties that they had in their youth. And again, sometimes older people are still sharp as a tack right up until they draw their last breath, so there is that. Overall, this is an episode of Batman and Robin that features almost no Batman or Robin at all, but I'm okay with that. I like getting to see another side of this world, even if it almost feels like a backdoor pilot that the creators of the series were maybe trying to pitch. I don't know if they were trying to pitch a Jonah Hex TV show, but it does kind of feel that way. But I don't mind that. Overall, even if it's got some narrative problems, this is a heck of a fun episode, and it's one that I suspect I'll be rewatching many times in the coming years. So what did you guys think of this episode, and of my review? If you liked it, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you did like it, I'll be doing a similar video about an episode of Batman Beyond next week, and another video on another episode of Batman the Animated Series the following week. And I also do videos throughout the week, so be sure to check those out as well. In the meantime, I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of the day.